2 years ago, I, for some reason, decided while I wrote my pirate fantasy novel that I was gonna include an argument about naval navigation. But one thing I realized while writing that first draft was that a little bit of research wouldn't be enough for me to be able to make a good argument. The little research I did only left me with more questions. So, yesterday, I did what I've been thinking of doing for a while. I went to my local library, because libraries are amazing, and I got 3 books because my Google searches were not really giving me the information I wanted. I also have one link that my amazing friend Kai sent me that I think might help a lot. So we're gonna compile everything and do some studying because, it's fun to learn new things, and also I need to do the research. My sources isn't focused solely on old-time navigation, so I'm skimming through because I have no need to know about GPS systems and satellites because those won't be relevant. But I still want to skim through them in case there's something relevant there. I'm mostly skimming and then writing down the things that I think might be relevant, questions I have, like, oh, do I need to think about this? And what is this? I don't understand. The books I got, and there were more at the library. I only took the 3 that I felt might be the most relevant, but it was a lot easier to wrap my head around in books rather than all my Google searches, especially when I don't know what I'm looking for. As you can see, I started with physical books, moved on to internet articles, and then collected all my internet things into Scrivener. And I've also been watching some videos about the topic to see if I understand it. Now, I know everyone's process is different and everyone taking information in different ways. For me, starting with physical books or even ebooks works best because I take in most information when I read them. I am a very visual learner, and it's also nice to have everything collected into a format of this is how things work. Honestly, before I started this, I had no idea where to start. I had some articles saved that a friend of mine sent to me, but it still didn't really give me any information because I did not know what I was looking for or looking at. So when I realized that my local library had a whole shelf about boats and navigation on boats and rules for boats, there was a whole boat section, I realized that, okay, I will choose 3 to 5 books that seem the most promising. And I did choose 3, and I will use them as a starting point. So, like I said, I started skimming through most of them because they were filled with modern technology as well, which is great, but not for my purpose. And then it was easier to look at the articles because I at least knew a bit of what I was looking at. I am honestly still confused, but I do feel like I have enough information to make the scene work where I need the information. This process works for me, and like, I am not an expert on this field now. Like I said, still very, very confused about all of it because there's so much math. And I like simple math. I do. I liked my high school math, but I studied fairly easy math. I was so confused about the math in this subject, and also like I will ask some people about my argument specifically when it's closer to done, when I have it more fleshed out, if I want to flesh it out. But it's one of those things that I will turn and ask someone about just to make sure it's believable. It doesn't have to be, historically accurate, but I do want it to be believable and have a basis in reality. So that's how I did my research for this fun little argument. Now, you could do this in any way you see fit, but I know that when I start with new things, I tend to get very overwhelmed and like I don't even know where to start. And what helps me a lot is seeing how other people do things. That's my goal with this, to give you this is how I do it. You can try it, take what works, leave what doesn't work, and I do want you to succeed in your own writing, and I want to read your books. I really do. I want more people to write, and I don't want people to be scared to write about something they may not know about, because you can learn. And it's one of those things that I really enjoy in writing, is that there's so many pieces and things that you can learn about to make your story more interesting and believable and better. But that was all for the light part of my research. I might dive deeper into navigation later on if I want to flesh out the story, or just because it's interesting and I don't know, it would be a cool skill to have. But until next time, thank you so much for watching, have a great adventure, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye!